Great. Namaskar, Suprabhat, everyone. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you very much for joining in. Today
नमस्कार
is
जी।
the uh, today is the fourth session within the series of CHAMM for Chakras. So this series is about five. Maybe we can extend to sixth session also, जिसमें हम हर एक सेशन में एक एक एलिमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं. फर्स्ट सेशन में वी कवर्ड कलर्स. सेकंड सेशन में वी कवर्ड एफर्मेशंस. और विद इन कलर्स आल्सो वी डिड विजुअलाइजेशन विद द कलर्स. And then in this session, we will focus on Beej Mantra. So CHAM stands for Color, Hand Mudra, Affirmations, Music and Mantra. ये पांच एलिमेंट्स जो हमारे सातों चक्रस की प्यूरिफिकेशन के लिए they have been proven that they help through various researches. They help in various functions which every chakra is associated with. In the last session, we spoke in length about the functions of chakras and the positive affirmations through which those chakras become better. The chakras become purified or cleansed or balanced or healed or unblocked. कुछ लोग एक और नाम बोलते हैं, दो नाम और मैंने सुने रिसेंटली, चक्रा भेदन एंड चक्रा पूजन. So all those ultimately are the same thing. It's like purifying chakras or worshipping these chakras. Uh, मैं remind करूंगा, but by the way, I think all of you know this, that in the very first place, why we need to do all this, that we all know that there is energy around all of us. We are made of energy. Everything is energy. Atoms हैं हर एक चीज में, हर एक object में, हम में, and all those atoms are made of electrons and protons and neutrons, which ultimately are energy. So when we inhale, we do not just inhale vayu, but we inhale pran vayu. So प्राण है उसके अंदर, एनर्जी भी जाती है जो दिखती नहीं है, ये मैटर नहीं है. So this energy, when flows throughout the body through various nadis or channels, it reaches tissues and cells in every organ of the body. और इस इन नाडीज के वेरियस जंक्शंस होते हैं, हमने बात करी थी पहले भी. These junctions are the places where energy gets accumulated and then from there it further goes to various other parts of the body. जैसे हमने बात करी थी, like a railway network in a country, and then it has various big junctions जहाँ पे गाड़ी आती है, रुकती है, एक दो दिन सफाई होती है, and then it goes here and there wherever it has to go. Likewise 112 चक्रास है ऐसे तो, but 7-8 are major chakras. 7 प्राणिक हीलिंग में 12 बोलते हैं, which is also fine. So to cleanse and purify these energy centers, we meet, and every chakra has a function. Various scriptures talk about various methodologies and tools and techniques to purify chakras. My understanding and experience gave me a good exposure and the benefit of these 5 elements, which I just spoke about, which I somehow roped into this small little funny word called CHAMM. So today we will talk about the mantras. So just briefly, let me show a slide and then parallelly I will tell you the functions. Okay, PPT. Yeah, so if you could see this. Okay, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. So we all know the location of these chakras from bottom till the top. We don't have to talk about or think about colors right now, but every chakra has a Beej Mantra. This slide may not carry the Beej Mantra, but for root chakra, it is Lam, Lam. Next, solar plexus, the the Beej Mantra is Vam, Vam. For the next, which is solar plexus, the Beej Mantra is Ram, Ram. For heart, it is Yam, Yam. For throat, it is Hum, Ham. For third eye, it is Om, simple Om. And for crown, it is Aum, Aum, or some people call it and then it does not end. It goes like Now, these chakras and these Beej Mantras specifically ideally needs to be corresponding with certain sound frequency. I'm personally I've not read music. I do not have any theory on music, but somebody who has read music, who has studied music, can pronounce these seven Beej Mantras the best possible way. So, for example, when we pronounce सबसे पहले नीचे lam, it may not be the best pronunciation because lam may also be, we can also increase or decrease the tone by lam or lam. So one, when practices, can further fine tune the right frequency of even pronouncing these chakras or chanting these Beej mantras. So, but it is actually the increment happens from the lowest chakra to the highest chakra in terms of frequency. It changes from, let's say, 100 hertz to begin with. Lam ki frequency karib 100 hertz ke aaspaas hai. This is the sound frequency to which root chakra responds, which can perhaps sound like this. Lam, and then जब जैसे finally हम top पे आते हैं, तो उसकी अलग frequency होती है. As we progress, we will see the difference. And that's why I will play a 7 minutes YouTube link, जिसमें you will find that the vocal sound coming from the background is, according to me, is the best frequency of those 7 बीज mantras. क्योंकि ultimately हम जो बोल रहे हैं बीज मंत्रा हर एक sound की frequency है. जैसे जैसे मैंने बताया कि लम को हम लम भी बोलते हैं या फिर लम, दोनों में टोन का चेंज हो गया. Now, while we're doing it, it will be best to close the eyes. Today, we will. Last week we did not do a demonstration because it was more of a theory. Because affirmation and the function of uh, chakras requires more of theory. But today, when it is chanting, it is pure, real meditation. And there's a possibility that some of you can actually slip into some kind of a transcendental stage where perhaps you will become deep and you will perhaps enter a deep state and perhaps become timeless, dimensionless. It is possible. Yeah. So, without now talking here and there, now let me see where is the video. Any question on the Beej Mantra? Here I can't find. Okay. So, share. Is the screen audible? Sorry, visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I will just play it for a second. I hope sound is also there. No.
Yes, yes.
Sound. Can you see? Can you feel the sound?
Yes.
All right.
Wonderful. So I'll just stop it for a minute. Okay. What else about mantras? So from the times of centuries, maybe one may want to read certain write-up about what has been the role of Beej mantras. From centuries, a lot of rishis and munis and yogis have been chanting various mantras, and it does not have to just be Om, simple Om, but it is extremely powerful to focus on the third eye when we do Om chanting. And for the other chants that we just spoke about, a lot of people do not know that it is best to focus on those chakras. So the various location of chakras, and that's why once again I displayed the location of those chakras. So as we enter this meditation now, I will request, so first we will start with 2-3 deep breaths without the music and the chanting, so that we come in the center, we come aligned to this current moment. We disconnect from any other thought that we may have around us. And then after that, we will start visualizing those chakras one by one. So maybe I will just speak in the beginning of, so it is for about 7 minutes, 1 minute for each chakra and each Beej mantra. I would just leave you with a statement that this is for this chakra and where do we need to focus physically so that you know where exactly we need to focus. Yeah, so we will start with some deep breath. Let's close our eyes. And within our own self, first of all, let's start with visualizing any body part of yours. For example, I start with, let's say, a fingertip. We can bring our awareness to any fingertip. Let's say लेफ्ट हैंड की इंडेक्स फिंगर पे हम अपनी अवेयरनेस को अपनी चेतना को ले जा सकते हैं. And it is possible that we stop thinking about anything else. So just bring your awareness to the index finger, the tip of the index finger of your left hand. This is just an example, just to demonstrate that it is possible to take the awareness to anything or any body part that we want to. Now, with this, now move the awareness to the spinal cord or the spine, which runs from your head till the end of the tailbone. And now, bring your awareness, move your awareness only towards the root chakra, which is about 3 inches inside the body from the backside, which responds to red color. But today, now I will start the Beej Mantra. So before we do that, let's take a deep breath, 2 deep breaths. So we start the session now. Keep the awareness to the root chakra and then start chanting. It is best to chant with the lips movement, but if it is not comfortable, we can chant within our own mind. But the best effects are seen when we use lips to pronounce those chakras. Volume does not matter, and the length of the chant ideally should be as long as possible so that it helps in extended breathing as well. But if the length is not too much, then also it's okay to begin with. Here we go. Is this sound audible? Is the sound audible?
Yes, audible.
Okay, great. So listen to the chant while focusing on the root chakra. It is Lam for root. Here we go. But does not have to match with the vocals of this background. Sorry, there's something wrong. Keep the eyes closed, keep focusing on the root chakra, pronounce Lam. And then you move to the next, which is sacral orange in color, below the navel. Vam is the Beej Mantra. Vam. Vam. Keep the focus on the sacral chakras location. Vam. This is the third. Solar plexus below the navel. Ram, R-A-M. Ram.
Above the navel, no? Solar plexus.
We go up, we go to the center of the heart. Yam, Y-A-M. Yam. The next is the throat. Hum, H-A-M is the mantra. Hum. The next is the third center of the forehead. Om, simple Om is the Beej Mantra. Om. Om. The last on the top of the head. Simple EH. Ah. Right. Now I think, as I was getting into the meditation, now I think I wish it was a little longer. I think I should have played maybe 21 minutes long music link, which will actually, because this was a demonstration and I just wanted to showcase this to you. Uh, but it will be best to do at least for 21 minutes, because by the time we finish a chakra, when we enter the chakra, it's time to, in the demonstration, it was time to leave and move on to the next. Any question on Beej Mantra, or as if now, on whatever we did in the last 7 minutes? Okay, so if we have some time in hand today, let's open up to know that what is the benefit of doing all this. Yeah, uh, it is still, many of us are science students, have been science students. Even I studied science, and I initially, in the first, it was in 2017 and 18, I was questioning that, will the chanting of the Beej Mantra help, and do I need to really believe that it really works on something called energy centers, something called these plexus. So though a lot of internet reading was happening, I was consuming theories from various sources, from people, listening to people who have found profound results, who were very advanced in the spiritual life, some gurus, sadhus, babas, either in Delhi or when I was traveling to various spiritual places like Rishikesh, McLeodganj, and also internet was teaching me all this. Parallelly, my own research was happening to counter and do a ref check that does all this work also or not. And my research was happening, and then internet was giving a lot of information, and then a couple of years back, Chat GPT. And then I started to relate, to cross check that whatever this information that I hear from others or I see on internet, do I relate within my own research when I sit for meditation? And then I also draw a congruence that, has this affected my these areas of life which supposedly chakras are responsible for? And every time, in the last 3 years, I would say, initial, I would say 5 years were in doubt or in semi belief. But now in the last 3 years, when I could relate that, for example, working only on the throat chakra, using color, Beej Mantra, music, and various other things, I found that it worked. My communication, though it is still not at par, not the best, not even, perhaps there are far more expressionists available. Some of you could be even speaking better than me, but I was not like this. I needed various uh, elements in my communication. For example, ठहराव. For example, choice of the right words. For example, when to express, when not to express. and so on and so forth. Likewise for heart chakra. So, and so on and so forth. In every chakra, the benefits that we spoke about in the last very important session and also the first session has given profound results, at least to me. People who know me for various years, my Ma is also in this session. She also says that yes, every area and aspect which every chakra is responsible for has improvised. So root chakra, just to recap, root chakra is primarily for health and stability. उसके ऊपर sacral chakra is primarily responsible for creativity and pleasures. उसके ऊपर the solar plexus, जो कि नाभि के just नीचे है, is responsible primarily for willpower, confidence, courage, जो कि तीनों almost एक जैसी ही चीजें हैं, और साथ में for abundance in the material world, जिसमें usually wealth आती है. So I think some people would have heard from me that somebody taught me finance meditation using solar plexus chakra, जिसमें there was a creative visualization, primarily to begin with. Creative visualization of seeing money coming in, strong visualizations. Visualization की बात पे एक बार दोबारा से हम बात करेंगे इसी सेशन में after 5 minutes. Then when we go up, heart chakra, responsible primarily for emotions and an experience of love every second in our life. This, as we just spoke about, is for expression. This primarily is responsible for intuitions and knowing things without knowing. Now, when I say knowing things without knowing, we know certain things in our life. It is not necessarily about intuition. हमने last time भी बात करी थी. It is not necessarily about knowing some development happening in future. It is also primarily about some wisdom that we do not get by reading anywhere, by watching anywhere, or by listening from someone. I feel like sharing some examples right now. I think we have time. So before we move to the crown chakra, let me give you one example. That in one of the meditations while I was on the third eye, and I'm gonna share a quick 2-minute thing with you. So something got dropped from above. So as we know, some downloads happen. So during the chakra meditation, apart from these focuses, if we sit for 1 hour, for 45 minutes initially, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, there'll be a lot of thoughts which will keep coming in. So I always say that it's okay for thoughts to come in instead of fighting those thoughts कि मुझे वो क्यों आ रहे हैं. The best is to utilize that time to actually let those thoughts come. Maybe you can watch those thoughts. It could be around some problem or some great development in life. And if it is a problem, then it needs to be addressed. And when we sit with those thoughts, with those problems, we'll end up doing some microscopic examination of those problems. Automatically, it will happen. For example, something went bad in life, maybe 2 days back or 2 years back, or something not so pleasant is overcoming or going is coming maybe tomorrow or after a few months or a few weeks. Then how do we handle that situation? So we start thinking of that situation, obviously. And then when we do microscopic examination, then we see the various specific ingredients of that problem. Uska paraphernalia, what are the elements which are affecting that problem? So this time of meditation, when the thoughts are coming, instead of negating and trying to push those thoughts away, the best is to utilize, think about those problems. It could be a very sad experience and maybe irritating experience. It could be, could bring bad memories. We may feel like crying. Some people also go through catharsis, which is the highest form of letting all the emotions go out and become pure, clear. And after that, there is a strong possibility, which happens to a lot of meditators, that when we become thoughtless, even for 1 second or 10 seconds, there is some experience of some wisdom which we think that we've just got from some external power, which can be called as God, universe, Paramatma, supercomputer, cloud, whatever. So कुछ लोग बोलते हैं epiphanies, downloads, revelations, ज्ञान वर्षा. So one of those things happened during when I was doing the third eye. Uh, so when I was experiencing some problem, God gave me a question that tell me one thing, or God or whatever, I don't know, where it came from. That tell me one gift that only humans have, which no other species has. So what I'm going to tell you is perhaps you would know the answer, but perhaps you would have never thought like this ever before. पर इसका आंसर आपको पता होगा और शायद आप सोचेंगे कि मैंने अभी तक ऐसा सोचा नहीं था. So the question is that we all have a gift, only humans have that gift, which no other animal has. And this has to be utilized in the best possible fashion. It has been misused as if now at the global level. And this is one of the reasons that there is so much of human conflict that we see inside our families, in the neighborhoods, in the business places, and also between the countries and leaders. That gift can be recognized even by a 2-year child in everybody else. And that gift is also available in a 2-year child. It is something which is not something hidden. It is visible very clearly. We can feel it in everybody. And it has been misused and only humans have. No other animal has. So that download gave me that, hey, Amit, you need to focus a lot more on that. And it opened up and it changed my life. I would say, I think 30%, 40% transformation happened because of that download. And why I'm talking about this is because once again, when we sit for chakra meditation, let the thoughts come in, but we sit for longer time, maybe once in a week, maybe on Sundays only, whenever we have time. Then there is a likelihood of this, and a lot of meditators experience this, not just me. So coming back to the question, will anybody want to guess कि ऐसी कौन सी चीज है जो सिर्फ ह्यूमंस के पास है और किसी एनिमल के पास नहीं है? इट्स अ गिफ्ट, इट्स अ स्पिरिचुअल गिफ्ट. इट मेक्स अस spiritually developed and to use this tool to spread love, peace, harmony, wisdom to as many individuals across the humanity. एक ऐसा गिफ्ट पे एग्जांपल थोड़ा सा हिंट देने की कोशिश करता हूँ. फॉर एग्जांपल विजडम, केयर, ये सभी एनिमल्स में होती है, हमें भी है. केयर फॉर देयर लव्ड वंस, देयर चिल्ड्रन. थोड़ा सा और हिंट देता हूँ. कम्युनिकेशन, फॉर एग्जांपल, every animal can communicate within themselves. Even we can communicate within our own self. Now, any guess? तो छोटी सी बात है, आपको लगेगा अच्छा ये तो कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है, बट इट चेंज माई लाइफ बिकॉज आई एम गोना टेल यू आफ्टर द आंसर दैट हाउ इट चेंज माई लाइफ. सो द आंसर वाज शब्द, वर्ड्स, लिपि, स्क्रिप्ट, कुछ भी कह लीजिए चारों में से. वर्ड्स जो हम सुनते हैं या पढ़ते हैं या लिखते हैं, स्क्रिप्ट या लिपि होगी जो हम लिखते हैं और पढ़ते हैं. सो उस दिन ये दिखाई दिया कि ओ, शब्द एक ऐसी चीज है जिसपे मैंने अभी तक तो फोकस नहीं किया था कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ वर्ड्स दैट आई एम यूजिंग. It's not just about tone, it's about the choice of words. And then what happened? After that download, which happened during the chakra meditation only. Why I'm telling you all this? Because these are the benefits of, profound benefits of chakra meditation. After this, the very same day, it was in 2022, very same day, I removed all the negative words from my dictionary, from my speaking dictionary. And I started with 4 words. और वो 4 शब्द मैंने अपनी जिंदगी से निकाल दिए इंस्टेंटली उसी दिन से. और विद इन 1 month माई लाइफ showed clear improvisation. And those 4 words were HATE. मैं सिर्फ स्पेलिंग बोलूंगा, उच्चारण भी नहीं करना चाहता हूं. और न्यूरोसाइंस ने प्रूव किया है न्यूरोप्लास्टिसिटी होती है जिसकी वजह से. I'll talk to you in few minutes of that. So one is HATE, second is FEAR, third is TENSION, and fourth is WORRY. ये 4 शब्दों का उच्चारण मात्र बंद करने से. So initially what happened, those feelings were still coming in, but I decided that I will not pronounce these 4 words. And slowly, gradually, whenever there was a feeling because of which I was WORRIED, I did not say this word, ki I am blah blah. So during Corona also, in fact, I was already reading all these things, and during Corona, सब लोग लिख रहे थे WhatsApp पे कि it's a very scary situation to be in. SCARY. So I changed it to it's a situation which needs care. तो उसी चीज को शब्द बदल करके एक पॉजिटिव तरीके से देखना. तो ये 4 वर्ड जब निकाले लाइफ से, in 1 month I could see the difference. In about 3 months I could see big difference. In about 6 months, these 4 feelings stopped coming in my life. इन चारों चीजों की अनुभूति ही खत्म हो गई. HATEWORRY FEAR NTENSION. So there was a barber who was cutting my this thing here, and he said, "कि सर आप, because I have to speak this word क्योंकि हम बात कर रहे हैं, सर आप टेंशन मत लो." मैंने कहा ये क्या मतलब होता है? I don't know what does it mean. तो he said कि he repeated many times this word. मैंने कहा इस बात का शब्द का मतलब नहीं पता मुझे. Then he got the point कि I don't want to listen to this. And then I said, मैंने उसको बताया कि अपनी अपनी लाइफ से ये शब्द निकाल दे. And after 1 year, he told me, sir, it changed my life by just removing this. And I mean, I told him the same story briefly कि ये 3-4 शब्दों का उच्चारण नहीं करना, चाहे फीलिंग्स आने दो. तो एक टाइम ऐसा भी आएगा कि आप इन शब्दों को सुनने से भी मना कर देंगे और करना चाहिए होगा आपको. You can tell other people that I don't understand the meaning of these 4 words. इन कहानी सिर्फ इन 4 वर्ड्स तक ही लिमिटेड नहीं है. ऑटोमेटिकली आवर स्पिरिचुअलिटी वायर्स इटसेल्फ so that it stops to use any negative word in life. We don't have to pick up every word every time कि मुझे ये भी अब remove करना है, अब ये हो गया remove करना है. Automatically it's like a software upgrade. So when you stop even listening to these words, people around you will also get benefited because you will say, I don't know this word, man. इससे एक और चीज मुझे समझ में आई. So when I got this gift, so this is a download or epiphany or revelation, which happened because I was working too much on the throat chakra, and likewise on this, I also figured, and I was reading it in certain scriptures, that there is a reason that every chakra is close to some chakra, whatever, and they also overlap in the functioning of each other. So ये words का ज्ञान जो कि है तो communication या expression का हिस्सा, but it was a wisdom that I got because of working on the third eye. And then that's how they are placed very close to each other, that when we work on this, wisdom develops, which also affects the throat chakra positively. Likewise, when we work on the throat chakra, it is likely to affect the heart chakra. And we work on the heart chakra, it is also likely to affect the throat chakra. So the revelation of words was just one of the profound transformation which changed my life. And it's not just about communication. Even if, let's say, I become a gunga, does not matter. It's about the mindset. It is about the action of soul which happened on the mind. And mind tells the body to take certain actions. For example, pronounce whatever words that if we have to pronounce in any situation in life. So just one example, there are few more examples which I got while working on the chakras, only when I was sitting for a longer duration. All these sessions are primarily to infuse interest in all of us by specifically thinking about the functions of every chakra, using these technologies of CHAMM, and bring such transformations in our own self. You may have a different experience every time, you may not. So words ka maine aaj bata diya. Now you don't need the external download while you're sitting on the chakras. But this is the advantage of sitting for longer time. This session is primarily to give you a little flavor and taste at what better they can do into our life. One quick unbelievable example, if I tell you, while I was in the long session for 1 hour, I wanted to feel nature while sitting inside my own room in the busy urban noise. And I know it was not hallucination, but I experienced the sound of the birds and the nature and the water. And once again, it happened while I was on the top three chakras. I was meditating. And then I realized that there was no tree or water falling outside after some time. It is incredible. It is tough to believe that through the development of chakras, it is also possible to experience certain physical experiences without really physically experiencing those. I knew somebody who's a truly an awakened person, and uh, he told me about 5, 7 years back that whatever he wants to do, he can create the experience of it without really doing it. Not all the time, but sometimes. And I also felt it that it is possible to experience certain thing without truly experiencing it. For example, some people can the experience of eating a particular dish, favorite dish, without actually really eating that particular favorite dish. And it can give them the same pleasure as if they have just eaten or consumed that dish. All this can happen through chakras. And there are various other kinds of chakras also, so other kind of meditations also. We all know, uh, for example, Kriya Yoga of Anandas, Sahaj Yoga of Srimati Nirmala Mataji, Brahmkumaris have a different way of meditation. Uh, Deepak Chopra ji, Art of Living, Sadhguru, and Transcendental Meditation of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And there are various other kinds of meditation. So I found after researching, and I've done courses of all of those, pranic healing bhi kiya, and I found that chakra meditation is by far the most logical and scientific approach to better our life because it gives you the authority and the leeway to focus on every particular ingredient or element of life. Because just 10 minutes back when we talked about the functions of those seven chakras, for example, किसी की life में बाकी सब ठीक है, but only communication or only heart balance or whatever, then we can actually pick up that problem area and address it by CHAMM, or there are other tools as well. For example, there are various asanas which I'm not exposed to myself, but I do not know which asana is for which chakra. But imagine that the entire university of chakra is so huge that there are various tools. मैंने ये भी सुना है कि every chakra is also associated with some god or deity. For example, root chakra is associated with Lord Ganesha. Yeah. Heart chakra is associated with God Vaikunt Dham bolte hai. So I do not know more about this, but imagine this entire the energy system, the chakra university has so many elements that can be used for an amazing life. And I know all of you, all of you are doing very good largely, but when we see 90%, 80% people around, they are in miseries, they are in sadness, they are uncertain, they're insecure, they're in jealousy, always in race, or health is not great, or wealth is not great, or relationship is not great. They all need this chakra technology. And I would request all of you also to now start talking about the benefits of chakras to people around you. Because if anybody inside our home or even in the neighborhood is unhappy or poor or has a very bad health, it is technically correct that we will also not be happy. For example, we don't have any unhappy people at home. We don't want to see unhappy people at home. And just how about just outside the home, the next door neighbor? So likewise, we are always wanting to be surrounded by people who are at our own level in terms of health, wealth, and relationship. Na bahut niche ho, na bahut upar ho. We want to be surrounded by people who we can relate with. सोचे हम कहीं नहीं हम नहीं एक ऐसे पड़ोस में नहीं रहना चाहेंगे जिसमें सामने एक स्लम है या एक फैमिली जिसमें सिर्फ लड़ाइयाँ होती रहती हैं. या सो वी ऑलवेज वांट टू बी सराउंडेड बाय लाइक पीपल. नाम से बहुत ज्यादा अमीर या बहुत ज्यादा इन टर्म्स ऑफ वेल्थ में हम जल भी सकते हैं कि किसी के रिलेशनशिप में बहुत ज्यादा खुशियां ही खुशियां, और हम फिर अपने आप को सोच सकते हैं कि हमारी रिलेशनशिप में खुशियां क्यों नहीं है. सो फॉर दैट personal selfish benefit interest. It's important to spread the very wisdom or this gift of consciousness that we all have within us for our own personal benefit. It's like हमको इस बात का ज्ञान हो गया है और किसी और को नहीं हुआ है, तो हम तो जाग गए हैं थोड़े से, बट पड़ोसी नहीं जागा है। तो अगर हम बात करेंगे या चलेंगे तो टक्कर लगेगी, बिकॉज लेट्स इफ दे आर स्लीपिंग दे कैन नॉट सी, बट वी हैव स्टार्टेड टू सी अ बिट। सो व्हेन वी टॉक, या फिर मेटाफोरिकली बोले हम रास्ते में चल रहे हैं, वो अंधे हैं, टकराएंगे, हम हमारा नुकसान होगा। तो फॉर दैट पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट, मैं नहीं कह रहा समाज कल्याण करना है, वो भी करना बाद में, लेकिन इनिशियली for that reason start to speak about this matter. Maybe tell them they can also do chakra meditation, and we can actually uplift, we can replicate like a dominoes effect, and we can uplift the entire consciousness of the collective. So I think we had time, so I just spoke for a few minutes about the depth of the benefits of chakras as compared to other meditations. Also, other meditations are also amazing, good, they also bring a lot of benefit, peace, enlightenment. But for me, chakra has worked more specifically. Any thoughts, questions? Hmm.
सो मेरे हिसाब से मतलब जिस चक्रास पे आपको काम करने की जरूरत है उस पे भी मतलब आप काम कर सकते हो, राइट?
उस
मतलब
पे
इट इज
ज्यादा.
नॉट, हाँ उस पे ज्यादा काम करना।
So, for example, I will say run the entire length of which covers all the seven chakras, जो भी हम YouTube चैनल लगाते हैं. एक बात और है कि it is also okay to depend on an external element for this growth. लोग मुझसे कभी कभी पूछते हैं कि why we have to depend on an external element like a app like YouTube or a sound which is coming from outside. Initially, to begin with, it is important, and it is possible to do it after maybe 1 year or 2 years of practice or a few months of practice. It is okay not to be depending upon any external element like a device or internet or YouTube. So initially, yes, all seven chakras, चाहे हम 7 minutes का लगाएं या 21 minutes का लगाएं या 1 घंटे का लगाएं, साथ में फिर हम क्या करें, 10% टाइम एक्स्ट्रा दें फॉर एनी पर्टिकुलर चक्रा which we want to focus on. Once again, YouTube is all full of it. आप YouTube पे लिखेंगे 5 minute chakra, 5 minute on this or any chakra, it will give you various combinations, various options. किसी भी पर्टिकुलर चक्रा पे खाली अकेला काम नहीं कर रहा है, क्योंकि इम्बैलेंस हो जाएगा विद इन 4 sessions. यू विल फाइंड कि खाली एक ही चीज हो रही है, क्योंकि उसके साथ वाले दोनों जो उसके पड़ोसी हैं उन पे भी काम करना जरूरी हो. तो 3 कवर करेंगे, इससे अच्छा सारे कर लें. और यूजली ऐसा होता नहीं कि किसी की लाइफ में सिर्फ एक चक्रा ही इम्बैलेंस्ड हो या इट नीड्स एड्रेस. कम से कम 3 तो होते ही है उसके आसपास वाले. आई स्टिल थिंक पर्सनली that for me confidence, which is the solar plexus, which is below the navel, उसके ऊपर heart और उसके ऊपर expression के लिए throat. I see clearly that these 3 chakras still need work on my side. For me, health is amazing, root chakra is very sorted. उसके ऊपर creativity and pleasures के लिए that is also very sorted. But then when I go up to the solar plexus, I see that so I speak on the stage these times now in the last few months. So I think I need to bring that more confidence in me. So I think solar plexus needs to be worked upon. Likewise, heart largely, I think I feel very connected and I feel loved all the time, but still sometimes in some various situations, I think that I need to establish more of it, and same for expression. So it's best to do all the chakras, but additionally plus spend another 10% of the time or maximum 20% of the time on whatever problem area that we have. And then basis that problem area, now you know the function of every chakra. Now pick up that chakra and go for it through YouTube.
Sure, thank you.
Welcome. Good ji. Any other point, Bank sir, Aman, Indresh?
All
Great.
good.
Thank you. So
अच्छा
next time हम
बताया आपने.
करेंगे, next time बात करेंगे only sound पे, और साउंड के साथ आई विल सी इफ वी कैन कंबाइन ऑल द 5 एलिमेंट्स नेक्स्ट टाइम. छम पूरा कलर. अच्छा, हैंड मुद्रा के बारे में बात करना चाहूंगा. हैंड मुद्रा मैं बहुत एक्सपर्ट नहीं, आई हैव अ फ्रैक्चर इन माय फिंगर, सो मैंने अभी हुआ दो साल पहले, तो इट डज नॉट गो बियॉन्ड दिस। सो मैं हैंड मुद्रा अब नहीं कर पाता हूँ, सो इसलिए आई एम आउट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस। बट आई कैन टेल ऑल ऑफ यू, आफ्टर यू बिकम little aware of the other four elements, which is color, affirmations, music and mantra. मैं एक affirmations का, सॉरी, एक हैंड मुद्रा का एक चार्ट है, वो मैं ग्रुप पे शेयर कर दूंगा। वो अगर आपको मौका लगे तो जरूर कीजिएगा, अभी नहीं शेयर करूंगा, कम से कम आई थिंक आई वेट फॉर 2 वीक्स। तब तक आप थोड़ा सा और छम पे फोकस कर पाएंगे, देन यूज द हैंड मुद्रा ऑल्सो। जैसे हार्ट की एक ये है, दिस मुद्रा फॉर एग्जाम्पल, या, एंड every chakra has a different mudra. So next session में we will talk about perhaps all the 5 elements, and we will use all the 5 elements, and we will get into a real demonstration which we will run for 20 minutes. आज मुझे लगा कि ये 7 minutes was little lesser. 20 minutes करेंगे शम पे, और and I will see if we can actually do a demonstration next time. Otherwise, उसके next time will be the last session. And after that, my expectation would be that you, now instead of, let's say, spending time in this group of 1 hour, you should start spending time for 1 hour by your own self, all alone. And then the real, or I would say the more intense benefit on chakras will start to happen. क्योंकि अभी अब जो 10 मिनट कर रहे हैं वीकडेज में टाइम नहीं मिलता, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली वी हैव ऑल ऑफिस टू गो टू। बट नेक्स्ट संडे से आप 1 घंटा अकेले अपने साथ, उसका लिंक मैं भेज दूंगा अलग से, 1 घंटे का, बहुत बढ़िया। एंड देन यू कैन स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग दैट वंस इन वीक, ट्वाइस इन अ वीक, पर वंस इन अ वीक तो मस्ट है। और मैं आपको गारंटी दे रहा हूँ 3 मंथ्स में, बाय यूजिंग कलर, एफर्मेशंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, कलर के बाद एफर्मेशंस, म्यूजिक एंड म्यूजिक में तो हमें कुछ करना नहीं है। नेक्स्ट आई विल टॉक मोर अबाउट दिस कि हाउ टू पे अटेंशन टू द म्यूजिक और फ्रीक्वेंसीज कैसे काम करती हैं। Good. So perfect. If there's nothing else to talk, so we can log off unless until anybody has a question on anything outside meditation also.
I have something.
Ji.
Like Amitji, we have seen the water tanks on the roof, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are all interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
When the main water supply comes, it
Mm-hmm.
automatically fills all the connected tanks,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
पानी आता है सारे टैंक्स में एक एक करके भर जाता है.
Mm-hmm.
Now all the chakras are interconnected. What I
Ji.
So if we meditate, right,
Mm-hmm.
the main power source, the main meditation,
Mm-hmm.
I feel it will, automatically enlighten, automatically give power to all the chakras.
For
Those are
sure.
connected,
For sure.
right? So if we don't focus, what I feel that if we don't focus on any particular chakra and rather meditate
Mm-hmm.
with full concentration, it will affect simultaneously to every chakra connected.
Mm-hmm. I also used to think like this about, let's say, 4 years back, and this is a very good example that you've taken. But that's how, and that's why perhaps there is a difference between the horizontalness and the verticalness, the way light travels. So the example of tank that we took is a horizontal example where the tanks are almost at the same level. Now, when we talk about chakras, they're vertically aligned, not horizontally. And that's why there's another big difference between humans and any other animal, that we are the only species which has an erect spine when we walk. Whenever we walk, we are the only species jinki spine erect hoti hai. Now, what I'm going to tell you, I personally do not have a proof, but I've read and I think I've induced what I'm going to tell you is that there is something called light or prakash, which travels through the universe, and there is something called the core of the earth. So, prakash is coming from an external system, which is intelligent system or universe, and it enters through the Sahasrar. And ultimately, I'm not the best authority in this, but ultimately it goes to the center of the earth, and that's why there is something called gravitational pull, which keeps us grounded through the Muladhara chakra. So because of this vertical movement of the light, it is the same logic that you just gave will not apply to this. What you said is also correct. So when we work, so when somebody has meditated enough, working on all the chakras will be good enough, and there is no need to focus on one particular chakra. But at the same time, additionally, there is this tool where it has been found through researches. Like you and me may not be the authority to do this, but even if we type on Chat GPT, for example, that show some researches which have proven that blah blah blah, whatever the question is, that you will find not through scientific tools or devices, but through researches it has been found that, let's say 100 people did this and 100 people did not do that, then what was the change or what was the outcome after a few weeks or months of the activity. So all that research will tell us that yes, if it has worked, and other scriptures also have talked about this, then that's the way it is. So for a particular problem area, it is recommended that we do focus on with that particular problem area and hence that particular chakra or energy center.
Got your point.
Thank you, but it's a good, it's an evolved question that you asked, by the way.
I have one more thing to ask, but I feel that would be a personal kind of thing. I'll call you one to one to ask that.
Yeah, please. What next was the point, right?
Yeah. नहीं, what next नहीं? There is something else.
Okay, sure.
मैं आपसे अलग
Please.
से बात करूंगा कभी और.
Yeah, please
अगर
do.
आपको लगेगा कि that we can take up in the collective session, then I will take
Yeah.
up that also.
Yeah, they feel free to call. Today is a good time. Sunday, I have some free time today.
Done, sir, done.
Good, Ji. So we'll let you go. Wish you a great Sunday ahead. And
Thank you, Amit. Thank you.
thank you very much for all your time, and see you next time for music.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mantra.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, everyone. God bless. Bye-bye.